All right. So we've got a Diamond 3 DPS player today by the name of Hader that we're going to watch. Um we didn't get any particular questions or anything like that to answer before the game starts, but I will say I did watch a little bit of this VOD already and took a couple of notes. This player is very hesitant to off angle, and we're going to see why it's very important because there's another hit scan in this game who is consistently off angling, and pretty much all the fights that this team wins, or that our team wins, is because of that guy creating a bunch of pressure. And I'll try and showcase it from like top down view, how much pressure off angling actually takes off of your tank. Because it may look like, oh, my tank's doing nothing in this game, but we could make his job easier by taking angles instead of sitting main like we do. But anyways, before we get into the actual review, I want to say I'm doing $10 VOD reviews in my Discord right now. Or if you want a free one, you can join my Discord, and then in the replays channel, just put a replay code and your in-game name, and I'll pick one a week to do for free. Or $10 VOD review. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's go. Get to the action. Alright, so we start off this round. We are terrified of Widowmaker. And I will say, first off, I can't talk really. First off, never jump peek Widow. Just don't do that ever. Never jump in front of Widowmaker. So we almost die, very risky. But ideally we want to, in tandem with our monkey jumping, he's jumping right now. When he jumps, we want to take an angle that's not main. Like here, something like that. Here, your Cassidy's trying to take this angle. I guess if it's open, we could even walk up here. It's not open right now, but if it was. And then we want to shoot squishies when the monkey jumps to create a little bit of space for us. So right now we're actually given space for free with the monkey jump, but we don't really do anything with it. What we could have done... So hold on. Monkey jumps in. He should have jumped top, but he jumps in. The Widow is staring at the monkey. Actually, everyone is staring at the monkey. So walk here, you know, this is free. We could have walked here and maybe actually killed the Sigma instead of just shot his shield like we did. Our Cassidy wins his duel. So we might have been able to clutch that if we like hit a bunch of shots, but we just stood main and we shot shield. Not ideal. But even still, we can still make up for it. We end up killing that guy with a nice angle. We get trades. We duel the BAP. That's a dangerous duel at the moment. And we end up killing him as well, which is good. So far, this is good. We're a bit unaware of the fact that Widowmaker could have been main and we just jumped out in the open. It's scary. That's okay. We get the point flip. I think we play the first part of this round okay. It's towards like later on that the issues start. Even here, right? Our Lucio definitely shouldn't have done that. But we also did just spend this entire time, like 30 seconds, shooting a Sigma shield. And we could have been looking for an angle. Our team is. I would take more cover. We are out in the open. This is okay. I would coach out of here though. Yeah, so that was pretty precarious, right? Because, I mean, the Sigma is walking on us. We don't ever want to be walked on by Sigma. We don't want to be in front of his face. We don't want to be in the range of his shots. So as he's walking on us, we also know that the enemies are main. I would have just coached away to like back here. preferably, and we could have stayed alive longer. And maybe even dueled out the Widowmaker top. Like, we went to try, but I think as soon as we see this here, he's walking on us, coach back. There's no point like wasting shots, shooting into his shield and stuff like that. So I think we could return that fight if you coached away. Yeah, this is good. It's alright, we get lamp out. Now, yep. That's good. Good thing we didn't stay. Now, I remember there being a little thing here. So here, right? Our Sigma should not be walking in 1 HP, but we're focused on ourselves. We should be ready to take an angle. We're just shooting shield. We're throwing dynamite at the shield. We're doing this, you know, still standing main, shooting a shield, shooting Sigma a little bit. He's not going to die, but we're still shooting him. And then our Sig is dead. And we lose like 25% or something like that. But, sorry, I skipped too far. If we had have been ready for when the Sigma starts to engage, we take this angle right here, or even this angle up here. We're not standing main, there's not a shield in our face, and then we can pressure this Hanzo off easily. We can just look at him, he's the only one on our screen, get him off the high ground. We go here, shoot him from here even. We can even put a dynamite on these guys from this angle. Right, there's so much opportunity that we have to create impact in this fight. Even though our Sig is kind of inting, we can still use that inting to make something happen. But the reason nothing happens and we have no agency in this fight is because we're just standing main and using everything that we have on a Sigma shield. But even look, right? Our Cassidy did take an off angle, if we can see, and it draws all these guys' attention. Wait. Look, he starts to take an angle as the Sig is engaging. And now, the Hanzo is no longer spamming down main. He's dueling the Cassidy. Someone's got to look, right? So he's doing this. I don't know if he wins the duel or what. No, he doesn't win it. But it's fine, he's still drawing a player away. He's like... The less people looking at your tank because of your off angles, the easier of a time your tank will have doing tank things. That was very risky. Just stand in main like that and throw a dynamite standing still. He's got Sonic on the wall, I'm pretty sure I saw. I don't know, it could be blind. We're still trying to hit dynamites on the Sigma. Again, coach gun top. He overstays and he dies, so that's good that you picked up on that kill. But if we coached on top, we could have killed that. Look. If we dared to take an angle up here, this guy would be dead. Who is going to stop you from killing this guy? Maybe Sigma will look at you and start shooting you, but you know what? That means your Sigma can shoot him for free. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just a win-win. No matter what happens, your off angle will get value if you just take one. Like that Bappin's just jumping around right now on the right. He could have died 500 times already. And again, like, this is sort of just pointless, right? We're losing. So now I think the idea is to touch with Bob. But yeah, Bob doesn't fit through that hole, so we don't touch with Bob. Oh, we still touch, but not with Bob. That's okay, I guess. I think we get a little bit scared from that ult. This is another thing I want to highlight. Not to hark on about mechanics too much, but trying to do this Ashe like optimal combo spamming hipfire ADS stuff, you don't have to worry about that, because trying to do that is actually lowering your DPS, because I'm pretty sure you miss about 8 shots trying to do this combo before you even hit one, and you don't even deal the killing blow to this guy. Yeah, so like you hit him with 2 hipfires and you're already at 3 bullets. So instead of like going crazy really trying to do the combo, I would like it if you would just ADS, take your time, and focus on actually hitting the shots. Because you only do your job as a DPS when you are hitting the shots. But this way we're wasting our entire mag as Ashe, which, you know, ammo management is a thing for this character. And we're not dealing that much damage. We're not getting kills out of it. We're sort of just trying to do the optimal spam that we see pro players do. But I would say, don't worry about that, you know? Just ADS and take your time, hit the shots. You don't have to do this crazy combo. Because it happens more than once, I think, in this VOD, that we shoot like 8 or 9 bullets without even hitting, because we're just trying to do the combo. So we're sit main. But I mean, 2 guys tried to contest an off angle and we didn't even react, really. You know, why not coach up here before the fight and get an angle in squishies? Or, you know, Cassidy was watching this angle, so it's alright. Or even preemptively, I don't know. This is a bit risky. I probably would have went here. And then, you know, once the Hanzo's looking at me, he takes a couple shots or he misses, then I'll drop down. And then I'll look here. And then I'll peek over here. And then I'll go around this thing. You know, you gotta change up your angle multiple times throughout the fight. When you start getting shot at, change your angle. But the goal is to not waste all of our time, resources, ammo, everything on shooting Sigma and Sigma Shield. We need to be shooting squishies more from a different angle. We start again, we look for an angle. We need to be aware of that guy coming out from main, which we are in the end. But even here, we're sort of following our team. If we zoom out, look how much space your team has right now. You guys are like a tiny circle. But if you had to like slowly worked your way up to here, even just stayed here and controlled this entire space, we probably could have killed this Wu Yang. Or at least like shot him in the head, got a cooldown out. And then I guess there's probably reason to even coach gun up here and do something crazy, right? Because their Hanzo's dead. Who's going to stop you? You can duel out the BAP easy. But instead we followed them into this tiny corridor in a close range fight. We don't want to be close range as Ashe, but we're still doing it. And we don't really get anything out of it. The enemies end up getting free space. Because we were not here to control the space. This guy's able to come out and get a high noon. This would have been fat, probably, if it was timed a little bit better. I think he dies, but still. You don't want to give people a chance to get back into the round. So again, we're spending time shooting the shield. We're getting pressured by the Sig, because we've been standing main the whole time. We're shooting Sig again, the shield. And then we forget that Cassidy is respawning. But I want to go back a little bit again. Just to highlight how important this actually is. Right here. What if you were here on this angle? Look at these juicy targets. This guy's copping a headshot. This guy's copping a headshot. You know, you could do so much from this angle. And then when they look at you, you got this angle to shoot the Sig from. At least it's not right behind your Sigma in a direct straight line. where this Sigma shield that the enemy is throwing can block 3 people's damage. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. Like why it's so important to off angle. You get access to all of these juicy targets that you can actually kill when you off angle. You will never kill the Sigma just standing main. It just won't happen. And also you get to surprise the enemies. They're not ready for you. This way, they always know where you are. They're constantly ready, and you'll cop stray shots as well. So then we do end up taking an angle, which is nice, but this is not a good one because the Cassidy's respawning and we're very open to the enemy spawn. So anyways, we end up losing that one. But, so, for this round, moral of the story is, try to take more angles. Be proactive. You know, you have Coach Gun if things get hairy. So you can take an angle and shoot at squishies. You know, don't spend all your time shooting at the shield. Get a dynamite on the squishies. Shoot a squishy in the head once, even to get lamp out or something like that. Change your angle. Shoot squishies. Change your angle. Shoot squishies. Hit dynamite on squishies, right? You don't want to just use your entire time. I'm pretty sure you spent 98% of that round shooting a Sigma shield. So, I hope this doesn't come across as flaming, by the way. I'm genuinely trying to help. Okay, so here, we see, I don't know if you could see it, but you saw Sonic Arrow hit this wall. And again, you're going to peek main with your team. This is an angle that your team is on, right? The Sigma walks out this way. Ideally, we walk the other way, where our team is not, so we can shoot other people. But we stand here, we saw the Sonic Arrow. Maybe you missed it in the game, but I'm just saying, you know, you gotta pay attention. And then he just hits a spam shot on us, which, that's brutal. Which will happen against Hanzo, especially when you play main all the time and you're being very predictable. He probably didn't even, he's just shooting, right? He did have a Sonic, but there's 2 people here. He was trying to hit one of you guys, and he just hit you because you're always playing main. It's too predictable. You're not taking angles. You're not surprising the Hanzo. So, yeah, it'll happen if you play this way. Skip forward. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have skipped forward. Okay, we're just stuck in the choke.
Is that a present for me?
You know, here we're playing a risky game. We get a dynamite, fine. Our Cassidy actually, so even here, right? We should have, what about here? He's coming to take this angle. You could have been looking here or even come into here. I'm not sure if you can reach this with Coach Gun. You probably can. Coach up here, get a dynamite on these guys. That's big, you know? Drop back down. Anything is better than sitting main doing nothing. But then your Cassidy actually comes in on the off angle, like I want you to do. He comes and he kills this guy. Obviously he wins the duel. And then look how much pressure this takes off your tank. He wins the duel, so it's 5v4. The Wu Yang isn't even looking at his tank anymore. He's completely preoccupied with your Cassidy. And then the Hanzo ends up joining as well. So there's no one even here anymore. He's just taken essentially 3 people out of the game during this time. Just by going on an off angle. Which allows our Sigma to walk out. And he kills the BAP. And then the enemy team just falls apart. It's 5v... Or I think it's 4. Yeah, Lucio died. So it's 4v3. And the Sigma's about to die. So you can see, right, how important it is to off angle, especially as a hit scan. Or any DPS. It's important for any DPS, it's not exclusive to hit scan. And yeah, that off angle has, that flank that he did has so much impact. While we just mainly shot a Sigma shield. And then there again, we do the spam thing, and we miss all our shots. We do it again there, and then we die because we're out in the open, and we forget that Cassidy will respawn. Or that someone will respawn, but that's okay. That's not the... We got bigger fish to fry. Okay, okay, peek the right side. That's good. We do more of that spam and stuff. And we look at shooting that guy. You see, your Sigma dies to the dragon here, which is not ideal. Well, I don't know how he's done that. But because this angle remained completely uncontested for this entire fight, their Hanzo actually gets to walk all the way from here to here, completely uncontested. And then he surprises you and kills you, because you never even really peeked it. You peeked it like once. But look. He gets to walk all the way down, and then just like cleans up. Because this was an uncontested angle, and he took it before you did. So anyways. But look to your right a little bit. Shoot the Wu Yang. He's like right there. Yeah, that's good. Well, everyone's already dead, so you win. But don't worry about the Sigma, you know? You can get kills. You can actually kill people and completely remove them from the fight. Instead of just shooting Sig. Again, we're just shooting Sig. I get it, we go for a Bob. It's not deep enough ultimately. I think it's fine. I respect the Bob since the Sigma used Grasp, but obviously we want to put it here. And then they had every other cooldown as well, so like... If you put it here, you might have been able to make it work. But... Oh yeah, because this guy's on an angle as well. So yeah, would have been much better if you put it there. I think it was an accident though. Oops, didn't mean that. So ultimately it doesn't do too much. That's a good angle. And then we abandon it to go back to main. We get jumped on by the guy. We do the spam thing. We end up living and killing him, which is good. But again, we just gotta slow down our shots a little bit. I think we're too hectic, too panicky. Share dynamite, it's good. Good angle. Now you can... Yeah, he goes for an ult, okay. But I mean, we're still staring at the Sig. Thank goodness your... Cassidy was there to save the day. But even here, right? If someone was on this angle, which could have been you. Let me go back a little bit more. The Cassidy splits to come here. You could have prevented this because him coming out here to look for a high noon on that timing actually gave their team a way back into the round. Oh my goodness, I just skipped again. Because he comes out and he kills the Lucio. But if you were here, you could have stopped him from coming out completely. Yeah. He kills one. If he was a little bit faster, then he could have touched and then they would have had a way back into the round. But even though you were here, it's not the worst thing in the world, the way that you were playing. Just be here though. shoot these guys. I don't know what this guy's looking at right now. I think he was scared of you. But still, you know, jiggle one shot, jiggle one shot. He's looking at me. Okay, now I'm going to go over here. But instead, we are so focused on shooting their Sigma all the time. Anyways, I haven't actually watched this part of the VOD, so let's see if we have the same tendencies. Looks like we do for now. Sitting main. But look. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, that's good. I mean, it's a bit scary, right? Because we're getting walked on. We could have went... that's not a very good angle. You know, look here, because there's two guys walking out there. Standing here and fighting these guys is a bit scary, because we can just get shot in the head by the Hanzo. But our tank ends up dying because... Why? Because this guy looked for an angle, and he got an angle on your tank. And this guy was here as well. And your Cassidy died, trying to defend it. So, we'll skip forward. Yeah, that's good. But now, see, the Sig is on her angle now. So you got to an angle while the BAP was exposed, and he used lamp. So that's good, they have no lamp. This guy's now taking the angle on you guys because no one was here. So as soon as as soon as their Sigma comes and fights your Sigma on this angle, this essentially becomes the new main. So you want to go like here. This is another angle. The Hanzo's there. You would have seen the Cassidy flanking you earlier. If he wasn't flanking you, then you've got access to the supports at the back. And then you can keep pushing the angle and make it really uncomfortable for the enemies. But now, because no one was there, the enemies are taking advantage of it. And it makes you uncomfortable. Looks like our Cassidy sort of just kills everyone though. Oh, that guy got earned again. Ooh, excuse me for yawning. Not that the gameplay is boring. I'm just on little sleep. Anyways. No! No! You were in a good spot. And then you left the good spot. This is fine! You know? What's wrong with here? The enemies are coming out. They would have to deal with you. You would be so annoying for them. You're here for a moment. And then we're like, oh no, I better go back main. But why? Look, the Sigma comes out. He can only shield one direction. So you can make him choose. And if he chooses you, you have a wall here. You can hide. Or you can coach gun away. But we just go back main. And well, we almost die, actually. We go back a second. We're just walking out in the open. I mean, I thought you were going to go up here, at least. Or here. Even this would be preferable to what you're doing now. Which is walking in a straight line in the open. Very scary. Oh, maybe we did try and we just missed the coach gun. Oof. Good dodge, but... It's a good dynamite. Get that guy off the angle. Now Sigma dies. Okay, good. We go to look for an angle. Very good. I think the best use of Bob is to use Bob once the enemies have committed a little bit. Right there, we sort of initiated with Bob. Initiating with Bob is okay when you need to touch point, I think. Or, you know, you want a bit of extra pressure on the point or something like that. But even then, like, I think it is better to use Bob once some cooldowns have been used and the enemies are a little bit committed, they're in ugly spots. It would have been pretty good here if you just put him in this corner. Like, because they're committed, right? They're out in the middle of the open, they couldn't hide. The BAP would die for sure. At least, in this spot. But when you put him here, you know, no one's really at risk here. No one's in danger. And even if they were, they have every cooldown available because the fight hadn't actually started yet. So that might be a better use of it. But again, we're sitting main with our entire team. This is all of the space we have on the entire map. Whole map, and that is us, this little circle here. So, you know, we don't want to be here. It's very cramped. Because now look, they come and fight us from all angles, from all sides. We may end up actually turning this around, which is crazy. But now we're shooting squishies. This is good. Very good. A nice dynamite. Yep. That guy unfortunately dies. Ooh, scary. Okay, you give him point if you have to. Good dynamite. Looks like we're not really aware that they could be walking on us. You can definitely hear them when they're that close to you. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we're gonna just try to keep track of these things. And then we all fall apart because we got picked. Unfortunately, we weren't aware of the enemies taking an angle on us, and we got picked, so there's no fight, which is unfortunate. But overall, I think the biggest or the lowest hanging fruit for you is, one, take your time with scope shots more. Don't worry about doing this hipfire scope shot combo, because it's reducing your DPS. You're essentially making it harder for yourself to get picks and to have impact. And two, take more angles. Take a lot more angles when your tank engages. When the tanks are punching each other in the face and brawling it out, take an angle. Shoot squishies. Don't worry about the tank. Don't shoot the tank as much as you are. You can shoot the tank a little bit before the fight, but as soon as the fight starts, you need an angle and you need to shoot squishies. And I promise you'll get to masters easily doing that. I think that's the lowest hanging fruit for you. So, yeah, hopefully that was useful. Let me know if you got some insight from that or if you learned something. Yeah, thanks for watching.